Okay. DGP 83. Arsenal 2. Some other team in North London 1. Steven, top of the morning.
Get that energy up, man. Get that energy up. Big one. Big morning. 2-1 to the Arsenal. It was a good night last night, wasn't it, man?
It was, dude. I mean, even this morning, right? Having my coffee, sitting behind this mic, feeling positive, dude. Obviously, the OGs know we hit a little bit of a speed bump, and as is tradition, DGP went silent. I'm sorry, we were out of town, we were traveling, having a little bit of a good time, a little bit of a stag party, I think they call it, across the pond. So just enjoying ourselves, and I don't even really want to talk about those two other games, right? Well, one big game that just didn't go our way, because I want to keep the vibes positive. I actually want to start out by giving some shout outs to the Blue Sky DGP fam, dude.
I feel like we got some good interaction, which is great. I'm actually liking it over there on Blue Sky, man.
It's great, dude. So let me give some shout outs to the OG followers, Kirk Winstanley, Andrew DeHinkley, Nelbert. Never forget about Nelbert, an OG. Hellsbells 18, Devin the Dude, Gooner Jamie, AFC Optimist. That's on brand. I'm glad AFC Optimist is following DGP, dude. We got Gunner Dog out of Georgia. There's actually a lot of Americans who've been engaging with us, which I really appreciate. Gotta give a shout out to Simon Green. Never forget about Simon Green, dude. He's putting out some good thoughts, man, under these comments. I appreciate them, man. I appreciate them. And of course, DC Gunner 7. DC Gunner 7 is out here, man. Feeling good, dude. Feeling good.
I feel like the general. So we're on Blue Sky. We're putting some stuff out. It seemed like the general feeling was, let's get it. I hope we have a good game. This is a big one. But the nerves were there, nah? North London Derby, I feel like that's normal. Go into them. It's kind of you're just nervous because it's Tottenham. And it's embarrassing. You don't want to lose to Tottenham. A 13th place Tottenham at that, even with the injuries. Both sides have injuries, so you can't blame injuries on this game. This is throw it out the window. Let's go play. See what happens. The nerves were there. But I gotta say, I put it on the TV. You hear the crowd? It's like, yeah, we're up for this. We're up for this one.
We absolutely were, dude. And I have to be honest with you, watching that game, I felt like I've seen this North London Derby before, bro. Absolute domination in the first 20 minutes from the Arsenal. And then they get some fluky counter goal and everything kind of goes out the window. But, I mean, after they scored, I still felt like we're fine. Like, we're scoring today. There was no way we weren't going to score against that team, dude.
Absolutely. The vibes were still good. I mean, 2 years ago, I remember when we used to get scored on, the crowd would really back us. This game felt the same way. I kind of was nervous that it was going to turn just because of the last two results. I was a little bit nervous that the tide might turn, but no, backed them. And to be honest, I always felt like we were going to get a goal. Always going to get a goal. We're going to draw this. Hopefully in the first half, let's get it done. Boom, put in another one, 2-1. And that's all she wrote, right? Fat lady was singing.
She sure was, man. I mean, I think when I look back to the lineup, I feel like the manager got a lot of the things right. We had a midfield that was great to see. That three that we're very familiar with. Miles Lewis Skelly got his first start in the North London Derby as a professional. I was excited about that. I was happy Timber was fit and back at it. And when I looked at the front line, I was pleased that Sterling got a start. It could have gone two ways, right? I think he could have either had a really good game in a North London Derby and really kickstart his Arsenal vibes, or he was just going to get a lot of bad stuff online. And I thought he did okay, and I appreciated that Martinelli was an option off the bench, dude. That bench is thin, dude. So we have to have at least one game changer coming off the bench.
Super thin on the bench. I did like the Sterling move at right wing. I've asked the manager a couple of times, like, have some balls, make a move. That's a big move for me. Starting Sterling, not coming off the bench, but actually starting him after not using him for weeks. He had a solid performance. Nothing over the moon. I thought Jed Spence kind of had the probably the better of him at times, but to Sterling's credit, he kept going at him. I think that's one thing about Sterling. I feel like he's probably very headstrong, very stubborn. He kept going, kept going, kept going. Won us a few corners, excellent. But it seemed like he was always an option off the right side. So solid performance from Sterling.
Yeah, he was. And a few times he was tucked in. Those are where he had his best chances. There were a few counters that he initiated. He was carrying the ball forward. There was one where he thought Odegaard could really run when he passed that ball, dude. I was like, nah, man, he not like that. There was one where MLS won the ball and played Sterling through. I was a little disappointed with that one, dude. You know, when the goalkeeper came out and Sterling had like a weird touch. He almost fell over after he touched the ball. It was early in the game. I wish he had done a little bit more there. Couple of times him and Havertz were both tripping over the balls, but overall I agree with you. It wasn't as terrible as people might make it sound to be.
Yo, a lot of tripping over balls. I don't know if the pitch was slippery. I mean, we saw Pedro Porro go for a spin. Like he was in Mario Kart. We took him for a spin. I thought he blew out his knee. I mean, I guess good thing he was all right. He was just embarrassed, so he stayed down. But Saliba, a couple times, seemed like he was on shaky ground. The goal, like Timber, that ball had come out to him. Their keeper was just having a terrible day. Terrible day on the ball. We were on him early. That ball, I mean, the goal they scored, it came out to Timber. Just got like stuck under his feet somehow. He was like tripping over it. They won it. That's like so our season, isn't it? Off of mistake from their keeper. We're on them. Somehow they end up with the ball. Like crazy. And that's the Jed Spence ball in. That wasn't the goal. It was a really good chance they had where Big Gabby put in the huge tackle. That's the moment I'm talking about. It wasn't a goal, but it was almost a goal for them. They're creating nothing. We're on top of them. Huge mistake from them. They almost score off of it. Like that was our season in a nutshell so far, I think. A big moment. But Big Gabby, that's huge defending. We always say we rely on the back line. Why don't we just go forward more, rely on the big dudes in the back line? That is the epitome of that play right there. Don't worry about it. Go forward. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. I got you.
Big Gabby. Another NLD. Another man of the match. Absolute fucking dog, bro. I really think this guy needs a trophy. Like, this guy, if there's one person who deserves a trophy at Arsenal, it's this guy, bro. He puts in a shift in the back. He puts in a shift up top. I mean, after we got scored on, you kind of knew he was playing as if, like, I got to score. I got to be the one who scores, dude.
He's like in that, I'm going to do it myself mode. For real. I'm going to do it myself. I absolutely dunked on Dragusin. Dunked on him. That was nasty. Big Gabby, so I think he's won 3 man of the matches versus Spurs. 1 last year. Both games this year, he's gotten man of the match. After the game, the commentator was giving him just props. It was one of the Robbies. I think it was Robbie Mustoe. Giving him props. Like, yeah, Saliba's supposed to be the dude, but has, like, Gabriel actually, like, surpassed him? He seems like he's, like, the heart, the soul. He's scoring the goals. Like, let alone, is he, like, more important this season to Arsenal? Maybe. I don't even want to have the debate because we have both. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. And the goal, we should talk about it, right? The equalizer from Arsenal. I saw a lot of people being upset. Finally, we got a call go our way, right? I agree with you. It wasn't a corner, okay? But it also wasn't like the one corner that we had. We had like fucking 10 corners. We had 7 corners in the first half. So like it was coming. All right. If not that corner, it was going to come after that one. So I'm happy that we finally got a little bit going our way. I mean, you were just talking about how the season, it feels like this is the type of season it is. Nothing's bouncing our way. And finally it is. Even Big Gabby's header, I think it went off of their player and it went in, right? Yeah. It might have been an own goal. Did it go down as an own goal? I'm not sure. We'll have to look that up. But dunked on him. Just because it's an error, you got to take advantage of it, right? João Pedro, he didn't care that maybe it wasn't a penalty. He scored on us. Tottenham had that. Bergevall, was it when he played Liverpool? He should have got a second yellow. Didn't give it to him, and then he scored. You take advantage when, That's not your fault that the ref didn't call it. That's not your fault. It goes both ways, right? I think the common saying is like it evens out. Everything always evens out by the end of the season. The positive decisions, the negative ones. Got to make them count, and we did. I love it. 1-1, huge, huge celebration from the big man. Got us back in it, baby.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And I think they did give it as an own goal. I just checked it. So, which is, I mean, it's okay. We know Big Gabby scored. That's all that matters, right? And then, after that, we were on top. It felt like, again, and really going for it. My stream actually cut out. I was watching Peacock on the telly, and it cut out. So I was trying to figure out how to get it back on the TV, and in the meantime, I pulled up my phone and I joined on my phone. As soon as I joined in, I saw us celebrating. So it's like, oh, it's 2-1. I was super excited. So then I watched it back. What a finish, dude! From the one they call the best finisher in the club, and you can take that to the fucking bank, dude.
The raccoon. That was saucy. To me, this is a more important goal for us moving forward. When you watch this one back, so we win the ball, play it forward to Odegaard. What have we seen from Odegaard lately that people are not happy about? Like the spinning out, going backwards, playing sideways. This dude takes one touch and he goes. Boom, hits it out to Trossard. 2 touches from Trossard and bang, shot. None of the cutback stuff, none of the fake shot. Like, that was a direct play. That was the most direct play we probably had this game. Everyone was going forward. We're going for it. Early shot. KP, you can't score if you don't shoot. All right? I know you have an issue with us not shooting in certain moments of this game. If you do not shoot, you cannot score. Yeah, maybe it took a lucky bounce and it went over the keeper's hand, but you have to create the luck for yourself sometimes, and you do that by shooting on target.
Dude, absolutely. And I have to be kind of honest with you. I felt like that's why Trossard is a starter for this podcast. That's why he's a starter. He doesn't need the defender to be tired for him to take a shot, dude. He knows where the goal is, right? And to be honest with you, could our other left wing finish that the way that he did? I don't think so. At this moment in time, I don't think so. And I'm not trying to slander our own player, right? Like, I was very positive when he came on in the second half. I knew he could make a difference. I just feel like we got to give Leo more of these starts, and he will capitalize when the chances fall to him, man. I totally hear you, man. There was 2 free kicks I remember where I was sick, dude. Like, excuse me, are we professionals? There was a 4-man wall. Dude, and we played a back post cross. Are you kidding me, dude? Can you take a fucking shot, please?
It's crazy. The 4-man wall put it back post. I think it went out for a goal kick. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Just go for it. I don't care if the set piece coach is putting up his little play on his little board. Do this. Odegaard sees the goal in front of him. 4 men. Nah, I'm taking the shot. I'm taking the shot, for sure.
I don't care if the set piece coach is Pep Guardiola, bro. Like, take that away from him. Who is he to be making that call against a 4-man wall? Like, are those the margins we're trying to capitalize on? Please, dude, hit it in the wall. I don't care. Hit it over the goal. I don't care. But you take that shot, dude, against a 4-man wall. I was so upset with that, dude. But hey, it all worked out in the end. I gotta say, Martin Odegaard, I think you brought up the point that he's been getting a little bit of abuse online. I've seen people even saying, go out there and get a proper 10. Like, I don't know where these people are coming from, dude. The recency bias, the dementia is real.
That's crazy. I thought he had a good game. He really needs to score really, really bad. So that Tierney ball, I wanted Tierney to get that assist, man. When he put that ball into him really late in the game, Odegaard gets it down. How many times? I mean, we've seen him finish that. How many times have we seen him finish a ball exactly like that? Puts it right back into the far post. Bang. Just not in his repertoire right now, which stinks, but he is creating. I saw a stat from Op to Joe. He's created 14 chances in the past 2 games. That's huge, right? When Saka's out, have to rely on him. He's put on a lot of good balls into the back post. I want to call it the soccer ball that we like to see, kind of like that corner of the 18. He is whipping those in, but he's got to score. He has to score for us.
He does, and I feel like when he does score, he will go on like at least 3 games in a row where he's banging them in, or he's just feeling himself low. This game, I felt like he was feeling a little saucy. In like the first 10-15, he had that really nice through ball to Maslow Skelly, where he just, like played it behind his leg. Overall, I was happy with him. I thought the pressing was there. We can always count on that. And I would probably say that was a 7 from Martin Odegaard, right? I don't feel like it was over the moon, but I know that he can get on the score sheet eventually. And while we're talking about the midfield, I mean, the 2 others, Declan Rice was absolutely up for it. You can tell this guy just gets it, right? He gets it's a derby, bro.
He's really come on. Like, I know they had the broken toe. What was it, November, December? He's probably been our best midfielder since, especially coming into January. He just looks top, man. He's running hard. You can tell he's running really, really hard. He had a couple great chances to score. I'm really big on him. And then we have Partey. KP's one to watch. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Silent killer, dude. If you watched that game and you didn't recognize all the strings that TP5 was pulling, I feel sorry for you, bro. I feel sorry that you don't know ball like that. Because, my God, he was breaking up the play beautifully. He was playing it fast. He initiated a few counters. And he's looked really good too, man. He's looked really good. And Declan Rice, what I love about him is sometimes in the middle when he goes up for a header, I'm just like, he's about to crunch this guy, bro. He goes up for those headers, bro.
I got to ask a question about the midfield. This was something, this is a footballing pod, right? So yeah, it's a big win. We're up high, vibes are good. But something I saw that was a little concerning. Tottenham were like carrying the ball on us. They weren't putting balls up front like long balls, Route 1 stuff. They were like just carrying the ball through our midfield. 40, 50-yard runs. Thought that was kind of interesting. A few times I feel like Partey wasn't going directly to the ball. He's more going to the space to then defend. No one's pressuring the ball. Do you have a take on that at all?
I mean, I think you're right to call that out. The first goal that they scored, the corner that it came off of, I remember Pape Sarr carried the ball for 40 yards and got that corner. I hear you, but I also feel like that's what you have to deal with when you're asking more of your midfield to get into the box. Like if we're asking Declan Rice to get into the box, if we're asking Odegaard to get into the box, then yeah, maybe it is going to be 2 midfielders countering on us, and TP5 has to kind of figure out how to just hold his space instead of going to the man with the ball. That's how I perceive it, which I'm fine with. I think it's okay. Could it be a little bit more of an issue against a Newcastle, for example, against a better midfield and a forward line? Sure. But I also think we'll be able to kind of counter that a little bit with our own gameplay.
I think that's fair. It was just something I noticed. I wanted to bring it up. Obviously didn't hurt us in the end. I giving a teeny bit of credit to Tottenham. They're always going to create something, right? They're not going to be the best going backwards all the time. But they are always looking to create going forward. So there's going to be moments. I was just surprised that's how it came about, was like them driving at us a little bit. But, so I'm thinking about a few opportunities when that happened, and Partey's not going to the ball directly, but we had 4 in the back, and he would have been our 5th defender because he's running to the space. He's not running to confront the ball. He's running to the space. So he still had numbers. I believe it was still like a 4-on-5 chance. I just wanted to ask you. I think that's a fair point.
No, it's good. We try to check the levels on the pod, right? I think I did that a couple of months ago when I said, this Calafiori cat, bro, he got hurt again, man. We were pretty high on him when it all started out, and now I am just so thankful there's a kid named Miles Lewis Skelly, bro.
Wow. Huge, man. Huge. So we talked about the lineup a little bit. You see Lewis Skelly out there. To me, this was his first real test. Not only is it the derby, huge game, huge moment. The lights are going to be really, really bright. He's going against Kulusevski, who I personally rate. I think he's a good player. He's very, very physical. Okay. 18-year-old kid out there. This is your time to step up. Let's see. People are over the moon with his performance. He looked mature. He's dog, getting in people's grill. Left back is going to be an absolute competition now because this dude has really, really stepped up.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing is for sure, we are not signing a left back in the summer. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this kid, yeah, dude, what is he, the youngest player to start in a North London derby since Cesc? I see you got that on the dock. And I mean, what can I say, dude? When the season started, I was raving about him from what I had seen on the tour. I was calling out that, don't sleep on this kid. I know Ethan Nwaneri's there, but this kid is very good, dude. And he's really won all the fans over. He won everyone over after that game. And the way he got subbed off and he had that little scuffle, the hands up, like, come on, man. Are we not like that, Arsenal? I love him, bro.
That is totally winning over the fans. 100%. Had an excellent game. And then it's Tottenham, right? It's Tottenham. Gets in the face. There has to be one little scuffle. It's our 18-year-old kid getting in there, throwing fisticuffs. Like, I love that. Backline. We've already touched on Saliba and Big Gab, Lewis Skelly, Chef's Kiss. Timber, back to Mr. Consistent, I believe, right? I think the last part we had was Newcastle. We weren't too happy with his performance. It was kind of his one letdown, and we've really seen from him. I believe he was back yesterday, back to his consistent self. I mean, those wingers really had no happiness yesterday. So Son, I mean, he scored the goal off a deflection, but that's not on Timber or anything like that. Neither of these dudes, Kulusevski or Son, had any happiness yesterday.
No, dude. I mean, in the first 12 minutes, Timber was just sitting him down, bro. He was sitting Son down, and Son was looking for a foul, looking at the end. The ref was like, no, like he's just stronger than you. That's what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing a stronger man out there, and I appreciated it. I do feel like you said something that I was reflecting on. You said, what you like about Lewis Skelly, or what you've seen online, is people saying they haven't coached the talent out of him, and I was a little bit worried about the last few performances from Timber and thinking, like, have they started coaching his like runs out of him, because he's not taking chances like he was in the first half of the season. So I hope not, because he's gotta be himself out there, man. He looks like he can really create something out of nothing from right back, and I appreciate that.
That's a good point. Taking the chances. Gotta say, overall yesterday, I really liked our build-up play. It wasn't as slow, and I don't know if it's because of the opponent. Like, Tottenham's just wild like that. They are a chaos team, so there was chaos in the game at times. But going down the right, like Sterling, we had to hit on him. He's had a solid game. He was going at the left back, also swinging it back when needed. Trossard, same thing. He's going at Porro at times, bringing it back when it's needed. Tons of opportunities. I think Declan Rice after the game was like, we could have probably scored 10 goals today if things had settled for us correctly. A lot of balls going into the box, and like it's those jammy moments when we're just kind of, both teams are trying to either clear it or kick it into the goal. Those jammy moments obviously didn't go our way every time. Only ended up with 2 goals, but good signs to be getting in those places. So the build-up yesterday, I think that's great. None of that horseshoe stuff, none of that talent getting coached out of us. It wasn't really seen.
Yeah, and I want to say, look, I feel like the general vibe was we should have won that game by like 4, maybe 5 goals, right? Like Tottenham were happy to leave with a 2-1. I felt like they could have been really embarrassed yesterday. And some of that I saw again, right? Oh man, if we had a killer striker, things would be different. And I think this Kai Havertz slander, it has to stop, dude. We have to chill on that, bro. I saw after the Manchester United game, people were messaging his wife. Ooh. What the fuck is that about, dude? Like, honestly, if you're that kind of person, stop listening to this podcast. Just stop listening to this podcast. Unsubscribe, dude. We're not interested in it. I don't think I've ever watched a game, a grown professional play, and thought to myself, I'm going to go message his wife because he had a bad performance. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Unhinged behavior. You're absolutely unhinged if you're doing that. You need to like go to the psychiatric ward, get tested. That's craziness. Watching this is football. This is entertainment. This is fun. Your life's not on the line, man. That's crazy. Unhinged behavior. Talking about Kai Havertz. If you don't know, KP is a King Kai fan. That's his boy. That's his dog. Having a rough go. He had that header on that corner. I mean, whiskers wide, right? I mean, I thought that was in. Barely wide. He's in the box. He's getting chances. He took the ball off the keeper like twice. The one time we were talking about getting the ball stuck under us, basically, like kind of tripping over it. I thought he had a chance to score there. I mean, is this going to be, you just said about Odegaard, gets one in, the floodgates are just going to open? Is that how you see this one too?
I think he's about to go on a crazy run, bro. Because, first of all, he has to. Like, Gabriel Jesus' knee's gone. It's just gone. Very sad. I hope that he recovers. I hope he's in a better mental space than he was when the injury happened. And we'll look forward to his return. But Kai Havertz has to be at a 9 unless we want to put Big Gabby up there for a game or two. I can't think of anyone else going to play 9 at this moment in time. Maybe Martinelli. I actually wouldn't mind if Martinelli got a run out in a cup game. That maybe doesn't matter too much, like the upcoming Newcastle game, right? But I think Kai Havertz has to play 9, and he's still trying his heart out. I think he had a few chances. You're right. There was a header that went wide. There was a header that he hit it at the keeper. Yeah. I thought that was also a really good chance for him. But I think it'll be okay, dude. He's still very much involved with the team. I think the team really backs him. Did you see Declan Rice calling people out in his interview? He said something about like what you see on social media is not what it's like in the stadium at all. Everyone was cheering for everyone, and this social people. I mean, it makes you wonder: are these like these Arteta out people after every bad result? Like, are they Arsenal fans or are they just content creators?
Ooh, are we talking about click chasers? The click chasers out there?
I gotta talk about click chasers a little bit, dude, because like I'm kind of tired of it. I think, I mean, be a fan, that's fine. But can you be a little independent? Like, sorry, we're out here. Sorry, we're not doing things for sponsors, right? Sorry, we're just talking about what we're seeing with just happiness, right? Sorry, we're not trying to put down our own team and ask for players to be kicked off. Like, I don't get it, man. I really don't.
People are just vile, man. That's just what it is. People are just vile. I don't know their personal lives. Hopefully they're all right. I just assume that they're not. That's what I think. You get online and you start talking this craziness. You're unhinged. You're probably not happy in your personal life. I kind of feel sorry for you if this is where you're going to get your dopamine hit or whatever you're looking for to feel better about yourself. It's kind of sad. I mean, we're talking about a team that's lost 2 games in a row. They were cup games. Yes, one's a semifinal. The other one was the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Okay, have some perspective. Yeah, it's Man U. Yeah, it's penalties. Like, that's not fun. It's the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Tons of injuries. What do we do here on this pod? Silver lining. We're looking for a positive out of that. My positive is now we don't have to play those games. You just said we only have Kai Havertz to play 9. All right, less games, that's better. Right? Find the silver lining, find the positives. Do not be sticking your head in the mud and get online and follow these crazy people talking craziness, feeling bad about yourself. This is football, baby. We love the Arsenal. You're supposed to be having fun with it. All right? It's a game. It's entertainment.
Yeah, and look, it's not all rosy all the time, right? I mean, we've sat here and we've criticized the manager when it's right to criticize the manager. But also today, I'm going to sit here and I say, thank you. Thank you for the early sub. Thank you for being proactive.
Yes, sir. We asked for it. Proactive Mikel. He made the first move. First chess move. Bang. Check. And it worked. I got to ask you about Martinelli. So he comes off right wing. I was happy with the sub. I think that's a great move. Sterling 60 minutes, gave us something solid. Now he's going at the tired legs at left back. But he comes on, and he was actually moving into the center. That's not something we typically see from him out wide left. He sticks on the touchline. seems like him and Kai were doing that interchange thing, which we used to see like Trossard and Kai. They would interchange, right? Between the 9 and the left. Martinelli actually coming into the middle. I am very, very happy to see that. Is that something you notice and like you're basically taking note of?
I agree with you. I feel like he needs more space on the right wing because it is actually more predictable than when he's on the left wing. So if he can only take the guy on the outside, having him be more tucked in centrally, now he has more options, right? There was one where he dribbled right down at their center back, right? Skinned him, went through, did a little hezzy, went through, he gave a little smile to Havertz, like, dude, I'm sorry. I tried to play it to you, but it was a little too late. Like, I think he has more options there when he's more tucked in. So I'm excited about it. AirPods, man. AirPods is cashing in those checks finally, man.
That's a great shout. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. If he can get in that space between like the left center back, and drive at them, his biggest talent is his pace, right? Dude's electric. When he can get going, he's electric. Getting him out wide, gonna be predictable, right? He's probably gonna go for the cross. He's already on his right foot. I think we can see it. Players on the field can see it. That's just what it is. But if he can get inside more, now he has options. You can go either way. You can drive. You can pass. So I'm actually hoping we see more of that from him.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, something I want to go back to with the manager talk, I thought you brought up a really good point about perspective and all this talk about Mikel Arteta, bro. This was the 4th North London derby for Ange. Do you know how many he's won? He has won 0.
Big Ange, Tottenham fans love him. A big fat 0. Ouch.
So appreciate what you have a little bit too, right? I think appreciate it, man. I think before we look ahead to the weekend, obviously man of the match, they gave it to Big Gabby. I will say for me, I wish they had given it to Miles Lewis-Skelly, to be honest with you.
I think it's fair they gave it to Big Gabby. I mean, it makes sense. Sure, it wasn't his goal, but we'll say it's basically his goal. Save that goal, the tackle he made to save the goal. I think Solanke's probably going to put that in. Let's just be real. He was right there. He's a poacher. He probably puts that in. But that's fair enough. As a fan of the team, you can see yourself really leaning towards an 18-year-old kid having his moment at the Emirates for the derby. That's a decent shout.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, I think we'll look ahead obviously to Aston Villa, but this game had huge implications for our season because just the day before we saw Man City and Brentford draw 2-2, we saw Chelsea and Bournemouth draw 2-2, and we saw Liverpool and Nottingham Forest draw 1-1. So now we're sitting after that win in second place, just 4 points behind Liverpool. I know they have a game in hand, but like, are we in a title race?
You said we're putting pressure on them. Putting pressure on them. To me, at this point, that's all we can ask. Put the pressure on. Don't let them run away with it. I'll say we're in an arm's distance, right? At some point, I feel like as fans, we've kind of settled on maybe we're out top 4. We're going for top 4 at this point. Maybe that's a good mindset to have, almost like we're not putting too much pressure on the team. Because it feels like that sometimes, right? Our expectations are through the fucking roof, right? A Champions League, a cup, the league, we want to win it all. We haven't even won it. We haven't won anything since the FA Cup back in the day when Big Abba was the striker. So maybe we need to reassess our own expectations. Our best player, Starboy, he's out. So let's reassess a little bit. Less pressure. Maybe that's what they need. Like a player like Kai Havertz, man. He gets the love from the stadium instead of the little heckling nervousness. He seems like a dude. If he can get the confidence behind him, especially from the crowd, he's going to work his socks off for us, and he'll probably bang in a few goals.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that we're back at home again on Saturday, dude. We were talking early in the season. We got a lot of the hard away games out of the way. Well, now we get to enjoy some of these matches at home, right? Bring on Aston Villa, 7th place Aston Villa. Let's see. I think they're going to be up for it. They'll definitely want to win that game, right? They're not looking great. So I think we have to show up. I hope the atmosphere is like it was midweek. And I wouldn't even mind if he ran out the same lineup. I think we're starting to get into run it back mode, Steven.
Oh no, run it back. The one thing I wanted to touch on just real quick. Starting lineup I think was really good. Martinelli coming off the bench, really good. Now we got 4 subs left, and then you look at we got Mikel Merino. All right, solid, right? As a center mid sub, I like it. Then you got Zinchenko coming in, and you got Tierney coming in at the left wing. Light, right? Really, really light. Now looking forward to games. Merino, yeah, he can slot in and start at center mid. Sure, Martinelli can start. Great. There's not a lot else there that we're looking at, right? I mean, Zinchenko's been out of the team for, I want to say for like 2 months, right? Haven't really seen him at all. He was a missing man. It's a little bit worrying. What do you get? I'm basically like, give me your take on that.
Dude, I mean, my deadline has passed.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
My deadline for a signing has passed. So I'm sitting here and I don't think we're going to do any business. The 2 players that we were kind of interested about in January, they both got other deals. The guy from PSG looks to be going to Juventus. The guy from Napoli looks to be going to PSG. So, and I was actually sick when I saw the Zubimendi links and rumors come up saying we're going to sign him in the summer. Why the fuck are we talking about the summer, bro? It's January. Can you give me a January link that we're going to sign? Mikel was very adamant in his post-match interview saying that we're looking. We're definitely out there looking. So, I mean, let's see, man. There's 15 days left. So I hope there's at least one signing because, yeah, dude, all we have are left backs on the bench. We need more than that.
Something really funny about the Zubimendi thing. It actually cracked me up. It's like, do you think they just put out this news because we had the 2 losses in a row? We're in dark times, and they're like, we got to give him something. We got to give him, and they just threw out a rumor. We're gonna sign this dude in the summer. It's looking likely. That actually really cracked me up because I could see it. That's that 4D chess, baby. That's that 4D chess. Before we go on from that signing, to me, things may have changed with Jesus. He just blew out his knee. That's terrible. We hate to see it. That's 1 less attacker. We have 4 attackers, and that's including Sterling, who couldn't get off the bench previously. To me, it's a little bit more likely that we'll sign somebody. Do you still feel the same way? We're going to run it back?
It depends where the board's head is, right? I think you're looking at the FA Cup. We're out of it. You're looking at the Carabao. Don't feel great about that, right? So if you're looking at the Champions League table and you're looking at the league table and you're thinking to yourself, I want to see a trophy as the owner of this club, then you got to open up the checkbook. That's your only option. If you're fine with, I think if we don't sign someone, that to me feels like the ownership is writing off the season. We'll just go again. It was tough. We'll be able to keep the same team, hopefully healthy next time around, and it'll be different. That's just how I would feel about it. That would be my perspective on it.
That's true. That's true. It's really about the ownership. Could you imagine if we lose another attacker? That's kind of where my head is at. Imagine if we're down. So we're at 4. Hopefully Winery comes back soon so we can up it to 5. Maybe that's the reason not to. But imagine if we lost another one. We're down to 3. That's craziness. I would like us to take a punt. It doesn't have to be to me, it's a body. I'm not looking for a star. Okay? I'm just looking for a body. Doesn't need to be a big name. Rotation player. Just give me a body in there, please.
Yeah. At least try. At least try. That's all we can ask for, Brad. The game at the weekend, like I said, I'm okay if we run it back. I don't really care if we make any changes. I feel like it's a win. Personally, I don't think Villa are in a great place. They just won 1-0 midweek against Everton. So I think it's a huge opportunity for us. And Liverpool play Brentford at the G-Tech. You never know what could happen there. Those Brentford dogs, bro, they're capable of a lot on the counter. So let's see. Let's focus on ourselves. And it's the 12:30 game, so the late game on Saturday at home. You know, for this one, Steven, I'll say 3-1.
All that jaw. 3-1. at home. Une coming back home. Man, I think that's a good shout. I'll be honest with you. I think that's a good shout. Villa's good for a goal. I'm a huge Ollie fan. I like Watkins, so I could see him scoring. Yeah, 3-1. Floodgates are gonna open, huh? Floodgates open.
Yeah, let's run with that, dude. Anything else you want to get on the pod today?
I think we good. Up the Arsenal.
Up the Arsenal, man. Thanks everyone for spending time with us, for listening, for the engagement on Blue Sky, and enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the match at the weekend. We will see you on the other side.
Be easy.